ain't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Boruto chapter 69 review. Alright guys, this chapter right here was actually a decent chapter. There was a lot of dialogue, a lot of plot building in this chapter, and of course the biggest thing I definitely do have to talk about has to be the actual battle. Now if you guys don't necessarily know, I'm just going to set the setting real quick. It's Shikamaru, Code, Eida, and also Amato in a room together. We kind of thought in this particular episode that we were actually going to get to see Eida fight for one of the first times in the actual series. Turns out that that right there wasn't the case at all. Eida completely put everybody under her quote-unquote spell, her enchantment, her jutsu, whatever it was. And of course, the person that we thought that was going to be sort of invulnerable to it, Delta, she was completely entrapped into the actual enchantment. And it wasn't even like a regular thing. Shikamaru was still holding solid. Delta was on the floor fawning over Eida's look, saying how cute she was. But as I said, the development was insane. The biggest part about this chapter is going to be the fact that Shikamaru actually offered Eida to join the Hidden Leaf Village. This right here happened on the last page of the chapter, and this right here essentially goes with what I personally was thinking for a very long time. When it comes to Eida and Damon, their resolve isn't strong at all. Let's be honest, the only thing that Eida essentially wants to do is actually be with Kawaki, but also kill Amato. But Code isn't the only person that can actually help Eida with that particular goal. And not only that, specifically Damon is going to do whatever Eida wants him to do. We even found out in the last chapter when Damon looked like he was suspiciously ready to actually kill Code right then and there. So I really do believe that it's very, very possible that Eida actually joins the side of the Hidden Leaf Village just to get the attention of Kawaki. Now, where does that leave a character like Code? This right here would be absolutely horrific for Code, and of course I do have to talk about what he did. In the actual chapter, Shikamaru of course had Code and Eida under a shadow paralysis jutsu. Turns out that Shikamaru couldn't actually hold it for that long, obviously because he was under the jutsu of Eida. So once the shadow paralysis jutsu was actually released, Code immediately went to Amato. Now here's going to be a very interesting thing. A lot of people actually do believe that Amato is kind of faking it. Some people think that Amato is actually a very skilled ninja. Amato is somehow like Otsutsuki tier or something like that, even though every single sign that we have seen in the actual series shows us that he has absolutely no battle abilities at all. And this chapter essentially was like lockstep in that actual order. Code pulled up on Amato, essentially put his thumb right in Amato's chest, and Amato did absolutely nothing. In fact, he was screaming. Him and Wadi might have handled that situation a lot better, to be honest. Amato himself said a couple chapters ago that hypothetically if Code gets a hold of Amato, then Amato would have no choice but to actually comply with what Code actually wants to do. Now in the next chapter, there is a very high possibility that Code could actually get his limiters unlocked. The reason why I say that right there is a possibility is because it can happen at any moment, literally. Code is right in Amato's face, and Amato could literally just give up the password at any given point. Now specifically, if you guys don't know fully what he has to do to actually unlock the limiter, the only thing that he needs from Amato is the actual iris scan from his eyeballs and also a secret password. These two things can happen in a matter of like, let's say 5 to 10 seconds. Now another thing that happened in this chapter, Amato essentially gave a rundown of Eida's abilities. We kind of anticipated that this right here would probably happen, but also we kind of anticipated that Eida would probably also have some weaknesses that Amato would actually tell us. That wasn't the case at all. Amato said probably some of the worst things that we could have possibly heard at that particular point. He basically said that she has no weaknesses. She right now is damn near invulnerable, goes against damn near everything that Itachi said. In this chapter, Amato gave us multiple symptoms of Eida's actual abilities. There could be symptoms such as headaches, vertigo, fever, muscle stiffness, and love. This right here is a little bit different from what we heard a little bit before. Specifically, we kind of thought that it was always going to be that a person falls in love with Eida, like just like immediately off of the bat. It still might be that, but now it seems like the range kind of widened a bit, man, because Shikamaru didn't necessarily have that same attraction to Eida as, let's say, a Delta or a Code did. The symptoms that Shikamaru is showing right now is just a strange fever. Another thing is that she couldn't necessarily hear Ino's telepathy, which is going to be very helpful. The reason why we know she can't necessarily hear Ino's telepathy is because she didn't necessarily react to anything that Shikamaru and Amato was talking about while they were actually talking. Not only that, Amato, who knows Eida's abilities, was speaking freely through Ino's telepathy, and not only that, Eida kind of misread what Shikamaru was actually thinking when he was actually thinking through the telepathy. There was a specific moment in the chapter when Shikamaru was telling Ino to not necessarily send the backup. Eida in that particular situation kind of thought that Shikamaru was thinking about what she had just said, which was the fact that she's in love with Kawaki and she wants to be with Kawaki. Now it's definitely possible that one, Amato doesn't fully know if if she can actually read telepathy through the Ino method, mainly because he probably didn't necessarily test that with Eida, and also the fact that Eida was just completely lying and kind of misleading Shikamaru and actually intentionally saying that, hey, she couldn't necessarily read what he was talking about, mainly because she wanted to know what the plans were that, of course, Ino, Amato, and Shikamaru was making up. This is all possible, but from what I think that she legitimately cannot tell what Ino and everybody else is talking about. Now, not only that, another big thing that happened in this chapter, Kawaki woke up finally. I didn't necessarily bring this up in any of my other videos talking about Kawaki, but this right here was interesting. Kawaki had absolutely no clue that Boruto was alive. I thought we were all just like happy that Boruto was alive. We couldn't care less about what Kawaki was thinking at the time. But Kawaki woke up and found out that Boruto was actually alive. This specific scene was a very interesting scene, mainly because Sumire was actually there. If you guys don't necessarily know, Naruto, Boruto, and the rest of everybody wanted to keep the fact that Kawaki actually killed Boruto on the low. Kawaki, while Sumire was in the room, completely blurred out the fact that he actually killed Boruto. Sumire was absolutely stunned. Naruto was stunned, but I think that Naruto did an amazing job kind of bringing it back and reeling it back to the actual point that Kawaki is not a bad guy. Naruto said that without Kawaki, they'd all be dead. Not only that, Naruto said that Boruto completely understands why Kawaki did what he did. So I think that right there kind of quelled the storm of what Sumire was possibly thinking in her head. But regardless, that right there might still be a problem, because Sumire may actually tell other people out there that, hey, Kawaki tried to kill Boruto. And Sasuke made this a very, very clear point when he was talking to Boruto in this specific chapter. He was essentially saying that no matter what the actual situation is, it's the fact that Kawaki, a person that a lot of people in the village flat out doesn't like, actually tried to kill the Hokage's son. A lot of people are going to feel disdain for Kawaki simply because of that. And of course, Sasuke knows this all too well. Let's keep it 1,000. To this day, he still wants to atone for his sins, quote unquote. He still wants to be that person that's actually hated. Not only that, he also seen how Itachi was viewed when he came back to the Hidden Leaf Village for the first time, and everybody was like kind of bad mouthing Itachi, and Sasuke is about to kill everybody in the actual restaurant that one time. That's besides the point. But Sasuke knows the harsh realities. People are going to view Kawaki a certain way if they find out that Kawaki actually tried to kill Boruto, and now because Sumire actually did hear this, that kind of makes Sumire a liability. Now, do I think that Sumire is probably going to snitch? I definitely do not think so, and I actually do believe that Sumire was in this actual position for a reason. I've been saying this for a very long time. I don't know what type of role that they're going to have for Sumire. I personally do believe that she's going to play the Amato role as being the scientist, being able to actually turn people into cyborgs and actually modify, update, and give ninjas certain abilities that they wouldn't necessarily have without the scientific technology. I think that she'd be great in that role, but she's in this scene for a reason. I think that Sumire is probably going to be a very, very big character for a very long time in the series of Boruto, because again, she was introduced in the anime. A lot of people thought that she was going to be relegated to just anime only, and it turns out that that right there is actually far from the case. Not only that, the Sasuke and Boruto scene was absolutely amazing. Sasuke still wants to atone for his sins. I don't know what's going on with Sasuke. Sasuke specifically said that the only person that people are supposed to hate in the Hidden Leaf Village is supposed to be him. This right here just gives me absolutely no faith that he's going to get another arm, get another Rinnegan, upgrade himself in any way. I don't know why he still feels like he needs to atone for his sins. That right there is completely out the window. Not only that, Sasuke gave Boruto his headband like permanently, because the last time that they spoke about it, Sasuke said that he wanted his headband back. Now he's actually giving it to Boruto. A lot of people do believe that Sasuke is going to die because Boruto's wearing a lot of Sasuke's clothes. I just think that Boruto likes Sasuke's drip. Boruto just wants to wear everything that Sasuke has. If you guys do see the reaction that Boruto did actually give when Sasuke confirmed that he can actually have the headband, he was absolutely ecstatic. And I think that's probably going to be consistent to all of his other clothes that he's probably going to get from Sasuke. But not only that, Mitsuki and Sarada also talked in this episode about how they want to get strong. I want to make a full video about the Mitsuki and Sarada thing, because I think that right there is going to be a very interesting thing. They specifically said they want to be strong enough to fight Otsutsuki members. That's going to be a very, very big development. But let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section below. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I know there wasn't necessarily a lot of action in this episode. There was also a lot of fan service because, of course, it is chapter 69. They, of course, had Delta falling in love with Eida. Eida saying that she's seen Delta's panties. Sarada essentially confirmed that, not necessarily confirming, but Sarada essentially blushing over the fact that Mitsuki thinks that Sarada likes Boruto. A bunch of things. But let me know what you guys think. It's me and boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.